Is drifting in Mario Kart a difficult concept for you to grasp? Do you struggle with maintaining at or above 6th place when playing Mario Kart? Are you tired of driving or drifting into walls on a regular basis? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you've come to the right place. It might come as a surprise to you, being that you are here to learn about drifting in Mario Kart, but today we'll be focusing a lot on acceleration, braking, and steering. So let's get into it. Now you might be saying, Happy, I know how to accelerate, brake, and turn. Why are we talking about this right now? Well, the reasoning for this will become clear in a bit, once we reach 200 cc's, so keep your notebooks handy, because we're getting right into it. So to kick things off, we're going to get out of the title screen, into the main menu, hit single player, and we're going to be picking time trials, because for some reason, Nintendo decided not to give Mario Kart a single player custom training mode where you can do unlimited laps and solo play. Very unfortunate. But from here, you're going to go ahead, pick your favorite character and kart combo. Now, for me, I'm just going to do the orange Yoshi. And just the basic standard kart, blue standard wheels, and the super glider. And that's just to show you that, any kart, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. It does to an extent, but not for this Drifting 101 video. So before we finish selecting, though, you're going to want to go to your settings. And to do that, you're going to want to press the plus or the minus button on your gamepad. Now, once you're in here, you'll see there's 3 different options for your steering settings. So the first one is going to be your auto steering. It's going to be automatically turned off in time trials, but you will have the option in other game modes to either have it on or off. Now, to effectively drift in this game, I highly recommend having auto steering off. Your your steering input, which is in the middle, the Y button, it's going to have either rotate with the controller or it's going to have with the toggle stick. I highly recommend having it set to the toggle stick, and you'll see why in a little bit. Now, for the auto accelerate button, it's automatically off, obviously, in time trials. But I highly recommend having this off in general. The accelerate button is usually the A, and it's not as hard as people think to be able to hold that down the entire time. But I digress. So these are the settings I recommend for drifting effectively, and here we go. Now it's time to pick your circuit, and for this circuit, I highly recommend picking Yoshi Circuit from the Egg Cup because it has a lot of nice turns for practicing your cornering and your drifting, and it's just it doesn't have all the jumps and all this other stuff that kind of deter you from learning how to drift. But, it's to each their own, and you can pick whatever track you want. But here we go into Yoshi Circuit. Now, once you pick your circuit, you're going to have a bunch of different options. You're going to want to pick solo race, but there in the top right corner, there is 150cc and 200cc, either blue or red. You're going to want to make sure that the blue is selected for now. And once you make sure that the blue is selected, go ahead and hit solo race, and let's begin. And we're off. Now, for this first phase, I only want you to use your acceleration, which is your A button, and steering, which is your left stick, to traverse the course. And as you're driving around the track, I want you to focus on proper turn-in and speed management, which is basically lifting off the throttle when necessary. Maintain some speed. Here you don't have to lift. And there we go. First lap is complete. Congratulations. And restart the time trial when on your 3rd lap to continue practicing. Now just keep doing this a few times until you're comfortable, and then we'll be getting on to 150cc drifting. And because I'm pretty comfortable with this, I'm going to go ahead and restart right here. But for any of you out there that are still having a little bit of trouble traversing the course the way it is right now, feel free to do as many laps as it possibly takes for you to get comfortable. And once you're comfortable with your throttle, steering management, and proper lines for getting around the chosen track, it is time to move on to drifting in 150cc. So go ahead, restart your time trial, and we're going to begin your drifting practice. So for 150cc drifting, I want you to only use your acceleration, steering, and drift button, no brakes. Now go ahead, do the same thing you were doing with the just driving around the track. So instead of lifting off your throttle when entering corners, I want you to press and hold either the ZR button or the R button to initiate and maintain the drift. A good rule of thumb is to start your drift from the outside of the track when approaching a corner, because this will allow you to maintain a lot more speed and allow you to get your mini turbo boost up a lot quicker as well. Alright, outside and in. Remember, we are not using the brake yet, and we're not lifting off the A button. All we're doing is using the drift button to traverse us around the course. First lap complete, very nice. Outside, in. Keep it on the outside, in. outside, in, outside. Now, you can always steer to push yourself out, keep yourself in. A big thing about drifting in Mario Kart is maintaining your steering input while you're drifting. If you don't do that, then you're gonna get into a wall or get into the grass. It's not gonna be fun. So, boom, drift towards the outside, in, and there we go. Now we're gonna do one more lap, and the same thing is what you were doing when you were just doing the steering and the throttle management. Is did a little bit of a brake tap there. Don't do that while you're practicing 150, please. We're gonna save that for 200s, and you'll see that in a little bit. But one of the big things, just learning the lines, like going outside, in, and that's what we're doing here with the drifting. Now keep repeating this process for a few laps until you're comfortable with drifting in 150cc. And once you are, go ahead and go to the change course button, select that, and we'll get into the 200cc portion of this video. Okay, so to get into the 200cc portion of the time trials, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to pick your course. You're going to go up to solo race, and before you do that, you're going to press the X button to go to the red, which is 200cc's. Once you're in the red, go ahead, press A, and get into the solo race again. Now for 200cc racing, we'll be starting off the same as the 150cc practice, but this time you'll be using the brakes as well. So go ahead, start off, no drifting, on throttle, do the lines, lifting is necessary, but we're also going to be tapping the brake, like right here, okay? So be sure to lift your finger off, be sure to tap it a little bit, okay? Get used to using the brakes and maybe like sliding over. You can also, and this is going to be crucial, right? You can either brake and be on gas, but not at the same time, or you can be on the gas and hold the brake by rolling your thumb over, like I'm showing you right here. So go ahead, do that, maintain, because that way you'll be able to keep your speed on as well, so you won't lose any. So just keep doing that for a couple laps, get used to the lines in 200cc. It is a little bit quicker, as you can see. And brake. Kind of screwed that one up, but take that one a little bit more on the outside. Maintain tight, brake a little bit, there we go, brake a little bit, there we go. Now last lap, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable with this, but as usual, take your time with these laps, get a feel for the courses, and once you're comfortable with driving in 200cc without drifting, it is now time for 200cc drifting. And I will teach you the ways of drift braking as well. This is why we are practicing 200cc braking before drifting. This is why I said earlier, braking, accelerating, and steering are the most crucial part to drifting. So go ahead, go into your start menu, and hit restart again, and we'll get into the 200cc drifting. Now everything you guys have learned is going to culminate into this one. So start off, go on the outside, hit the drift button, go in, drift button again, brake, hold the brake. Now, while you're drifting in 200cc's, it's beneficial if you were to hold the brake. You can also tap it, kind of like this, like that. You can do it that way. I recommend holding. Do a mix of holding the B button and tapping it at the same time. Might be able to get you some beneficial results. Right there, I kind of held it for a little bit longer. You can begin by holding it, then just kind of tap it as you go along. Okay, right here we don't really need to. There we go, perfect. Gonna go into it again. Hit a little tap, hold. Get the outside, hold. And you can always hold, lift, and then hold it, or tap it, and then hold again. It gives you a little bit longer of a brake drift as well. But I mean, this is it, right? This is drifting in 200cc's. Now, I want you guys to get comfortable with this, because drift braking is very crucial for 200cc drifting. If you don't know how to drift brake, you're going to have some trouble, especially on the tighter courses like my favorite, Neo Bowser City. And as you can see, I'm not taking any shortcuts or anything. We're just traversing the course. That's because I want you to get the fundamentals down first. Tap, 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 tap. Hold. Hold. Okay. Now, drift braking isn't crucial at all times. As you can see, I'm not using the brake at all times, but for the most part, it'll help you a lot. Ah, screwed that up. So, Once you guys are comfortable with the 200cc drifting, that's it. And you can come into time trials at any time to be able to practice your skills. Just do the same thing I showed you at the end of or before you end the third lap. Just go ahead, restart the time trial, and just keep practicing that over and over on your favorite track. So that's it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like it. Leave your comments in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Ring the bell so you guys be notified of all my content like this and my live streams coming up. And I'll see you guys later. Happy holidays, by the way. Hope your weekend is as great as mine's going to be. Peace out.